Hey, it's Owen here. The Darkness, 2003. I believe in a thing called love. This is solos that rule.
Darkness, everybody!
I'm sure you've seen Justin Hawkins' incredible YouTube channel.
Justin Hawkins writes again.
But you may not have realized what a powerhouse he is on the guitar. And this solo is the proof. What is missing in modern music? That's right, 3 to 4 guitar solos, which this tune has. For this episode, I'm going to play the outro solo, show you why it's an amazing example of modern arena rock, and break down 3 licks which make it sound so good. Plus, I've got a quick Dan Hawkins story from the NAMM show, which explains a lot about this band's sound. What I love about this solo is it doesn't just sound like a session guy trying to be cool. It sounds like a fan of classic rock who did their homework. That's someone who grew up on the classic rock records that we did and decided to show off about it. And how perfect was it to choose The Darkness to do the soundtrack for the new Masters of the Universe movie.
Silence, you furry fool! I've had it with your whining and bumbling.
Starting with a guitar harmony. What could be more glam rock than that? This sounds to me like a Mick Ronson or Brian May move. After that comes a classic pentatonic run, but there's a very cool variation thrown in there. That note is what we call the blues note. It's a note just outside of the pentatonic scale, but it adds a whole lot of attitude. Theory nerd alert. This is E minor pentatonic with the added blues note, but it's playing over an E major chord progression. Yes, you can do that. Prince and Justin Hawkins both said it's okay. Quick story, I saw Dan Hawkins doing a Marshall demo at the NAMM show in 2019. Now Dan is kind of known more as the rhythm guy, but his technique and sense of timing is absolutely bulletproof. It reminded me that even though Justin is the flashy guy up front, this band is built on Dan's precision, a bit like another couple of musical brothers with the surname Young. This is the perfect answer to that opening blues phrase, and it uses one of the most tried and true tricks in lead guitar playing, the repeated phrase. It's the same notes played 3 times with a small variation at the end of each one. The first time, it ends with a double stop. The second time, it ends with a pinch harmonic. And the last time, it ends with some tasty vibrato. So we've had melody, we've had attitude, and we've had energy. The final lick is the one that really finishes off the solo, and it's a great payoff. Okay. This is a classic 80s arena rock phrase. You've got that repeatedly picked high E string with fretted notes coming in between them. It's got a really relentless driving energy like you might hear from Angus Young or Gary Moore. The trick here is consistent alternate picking. If your hand starts to tense up, your picking's going to start to get really sloppy and it won't sound very good. You want it accurate, but you also want to keep your picking hand really relaxed. Fast alternate picking can be a real mental over physical challenge. The faster you try to pick, the more your brain's going to tell your muscles to tense up. But that's the absolute last thing you want your picking hand to do. You've got to relax. Now with this particular lick, there's two different picking patterns. The first pattern is to pick a fretted note, pull off to the open string, and then pick the open string. The second pattern is pick a fretted note, pull off to the open string. And then we go back to the first pattern, pick a fretted note, pull off to the open string, pick the open string. Then the solo, of course, ends with that big bend at the 22nd fret, which is a lot of fun on a Les Paul. I was lucky enough to see The Darkness play live once, and I noticed Justin Hawkins plays this note like this. So what gear was Justin Hawkins using when he originally recorded this solo? On this album, Justin used a Gibson Les Paul Standard, which he called Black Shuck. Of course, when playing live, Justin is well known for using his Alpine White Gibson Les Paul Customs. Justin has always said in interviews that he's a Les Paul into a Marshall kind of a guy. And that's what this song sounds like to my ear. If I had to take a guess, I'd say the amp being used is a Marshall Super Lead 100 watt, pushed to within an inch of its life. It's a simple rig, but it's loud, it's mid-heavy, and it rips your head off in the most delightful ways. Today I'm using my Les Paul Standard through my amazing Splawn street rod. I've got that on gear 1, which is the Marshall Plexi setting. So that's why the outro solo in I Believe in a Thing Called Love rules. It sings, it brings back all those great guitar memories from the 70s, and it resolves with total confidence. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you've got a solo you think rules, and you think I might like it too, drop it down in the comments and you may see it in an upcoming episode. There's a playlist right there. See you in the next one.